The diner's coffee was tar, but the booth by the window offered a perfect view of the First Mercantile Bank across the street. Leo stirred in a third sugar, his leg bouncing a silent, nervous rhythm under the formica. Marcy, cool as a glacier beside him, watched the bank's clock tower. 11:57 a.m. 3 minutes, she said, not looking at him. Her voice was a flat line. You see the van? He nodded. A white plumbing van idled in the alley beside the bank's side entrance, right on schedule. Remember, she said, finally turning her hazel eyes on him. They held no warmth, only a final checklist. You walk in after the alarm. You're just a guy coming to fix the pipes. You go to the basement. You open panel B9 with this key. She slid a single brass key across the table. It felt ice cold. You take what's inside the maintenance locker. You walk out. You meet me at the river. No heroics, no curiosity. What's in the locker, Marcy? Your retirement, she said, a ghost of a smile touching her lips. It didn't reach her eyes. And mine. The clock struck noon. A second later, the sharp, repetitive bleat of the bank's alarm shattered the street's calm. People on the sidewalk froze, heads turning. The bank's front doors burst open as employees and customers streamed out, hands raised or clutching purses. Go, Marcy said. Leo stood, the key a brand in his palm. He crossed the street, moving against the tide of fleeing people, just a man in workman's clothes with a purpose. A harried security guard held the door for him. Basement's flooding, hurry! He took the stairs 2 at a time, the alarm muffled but urgent down here. The basement was a labyrinth of pipes and concrete pillars. He found panel B9. His hand shook as he inserted the key. It turned with a satisfying clunk. The locker held 2 things: a heavy black duffel bag zipped shut, and a small white envelope with his name on it. He tore it open. A single slip of paper, a bank routing number, an account, and a message for the silence. The bag is for them. Go. The duffel wasn't his retirement. It was the payoff. The marked bills from the heist happening upstairs right now. He was the mule, the fall guy holding the evidence while the real crew vanished with the digital haul. Footsteps pounded on the stairs above. Shouts. Down here! He's got to be down here. Leo's breath hitched. He looked at the duffel, then at the slip of paper in his hand, for the silence. Marcy's cut for him, keeping his mouth shut while he took the weight. He could grab the bag, try to run. He'd be caught before he hit the street, or... He shoved the slip of paper deep into his pocket. Then, with all his strength, he hurled the heavy duffel bag into the dark, gaping mouth of an old coal chute across the room. It vanished with a distant, final thud. He turned just as 2 cops rounded the corner, guns drawn. Leo raised his empty, dirty hands. It's gone, he said, his voice eerily calm. The money. It's in the walls. They're gone. He saw the confusion, then the fury in their eyes. They cuffed him rough. As they led him up into the light and the screaming sirens, he looked across the street. The diner booth was empty. Marcy was already at the river. Or she wasn't. In the back of the cruiser, he closed his eyes. The key to a Swiss account burned a hole in his pocket. The cops had the wrong man and no money. Marcy had her clean getaway, and he had his. It just looked, for the moment, a lot like handcuffs. He'd do the time, and then he'd disappear. A clean getaway, just dirtier than he'd planned.